So guys, we're now back in The Sims 4. I keep telling you guys that I'm going to finish this build and get the backyard finished, and I was just had to take me a couple days to really figure out how I really wanted this farmhouse to be finished. I wanted a little bit of remembrance when I was a child. I was sort of like, I was raised on a farm, but I was also raised at a provincial park, so I kind of wanted to bring a little bit of my childhood back. And that's something that I was trying to do, is I was trying to remember how happy I was when I was a kid, and I was trying to remember how I was being raised and how I was looked after and stuff by my grandparents, because I was legally adopted at the I was actually I don't know if I was surrendered at when I was around 2 or 6 months of age, but I know one thing, that my grandfather did take me from my legal mother. So it was because of some really heavy things that she was going through mentally and physically, and I've actually taken a couple of years to really sit down and actually be thankful for my grandfather, who actually later years became my dad, the person who I looked up to. And even to this day, I actually look up to my dad. Just the other day, yesterday, my husband Tim, he went to my dad's cemetery. I was having a really bad day. I was having a really bad, like this past week has been full of anxiety. I don't think my pills are fully working again, so I need to go to the doctor's probably next week to get that adjusted. So I think I might need a little bit more of a boost in my pills. But last week was pretty heavy. Like, I was so stressed out. So I hope this coming week I'm going to be a lot better mentally and physically. This greenhouse took really hard to understand. It is a modded greenhouse. Like, everything I do build is mod, and I was trying to figure out how I wanted to build this, because I wanted to do like a little farm kind of esque, like to have a little bit of horses. Yeah, I don't even know how we're gonna get horses back there. We'll try to figure it out, you know. Maybe they were just ponies when we first got them, and I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'm still trying to figure it out. So here's me gathering everything out of the inventory, and I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how and what packs and everything, where everything is, because I took an entire day yesterday and sat down and I went CC shopping mad. I literally grabbed things that I was thinking about using for this build, and I build a lot of Canadian style homes that are actually country style. I really like the way they turn out in The Sims 4, and I really have that neck of creativity. My godparents are they were police officers in Saskatoon, and now they are contractors, and I think I get a little bit of the passion from them when I do stuff like this. But I also figured out the other day that I get the passion of traveling from my great grandmother, who was originally from South Africa, I do believe. So when I'm building these stuff, I always think about, you know, how things can actually be, and how things were, and how things would have been if this was my dream home. Eventually Tim and I are going to be moved out of the city, and we're going to be on an acreage. So I was trying to figure out how I wanted everything to be. Now, hence, not everything is going to be like this, but in The Sims 4, it's nice to have some things kind of perfect. And I'm just grabbing things, bringing things in, thinking about, you know, how my father would have put things into. Because my dad, I don't really have much of a green thumb, but my father, my adopted dad, he used to do a lot of planting when I was younger. So I was just trying to think about how I wanted everything to be, and how things needed to get, you know, placed. I was also having issues where I wanted things to be placed because I didn't really know what I was going to place in there. Like, I know there was some stuff that I was going to add and some things that I wasn't going to add, but it's always really good to just grab everything and put it in your build. Yeah. Also, talking about my dad, I'm literally sitting here. I have I don't know if I can say ability, but I have the sensations of when spirits are around. I don't really talk much about it on videos, but yeah, that's been happening again. And I don't like it, and it ticks me off when that happens, but whatever. So we're just trying to figure out if I wanted to add that planter there. I didn't add that planter. I actually did try to figure out how I wanted to do this. I didn't really want to make it too gigantic, but I was thinking about maybe having like flowers all around it outside and then make it look like really pretty. And that's what I ended up doing, and I really love it. Oh, and I did see that little wooden bench thing. I was gonna make the watering can really tiny so it can fit there, but I just put it back to normal. So nothing really too fancy for this area. I did end up putting an outhouse in the little corner where all like there's trees and stuff. That outhouse would have been usable way back when because there wouldn't be so much flowers, but how my little story is, this house has been added on from like the 1900s, and it's been workable into the new millennium year. So that is basically the story behind this little house build. This is a Canadian style house inspiration of my childhood. So please take a note of that one, everyone. See, just adding a lot of flowers and making it pretty, and and making it look really usable and lived in. Oh, and it looked like after I was done there, I've been actually cutting out a lot of the videos. So we're looking like we're working on the barn right now. I don't know, like I think we went back, we finished the greenhouse. I don't know. I really hope we did. And if we didn't, I'm sorry. I will be doing a gameplay maybe today or tomorrow to show you guys what was done. And another reason is I forgot that I had Wicked Whims enabled. And I have a sim that likes to run around butt-ass naked. So I didn't want that being shown. So I had to cut a lot of the video out because I forgot to not be in play mode when I'm building for streaming and stuff. But when I first finally figured out I was doing it, it was way too late to just stop and restart it again. Because the video was like an hour and some minutes long, and I was just trying to figure out how I can make this much shorter and much quicker, because lately my internet's been actually really been liking these speed builds. It's very weird. The last video, the 5-minute video, took less than half an hour to post, which was so nice. It was actually posted. It was on I really haven't really noticed many people watching my videos lately. Oh, and this tinier pen that I miscalculated, I'm actually going to probably put like infant foals and stuff in there. And that's probably going to be like the baby pen for like the smaller horses and stuff, like the smaller fillies and stuff. I think that's what we might end up doing. So that's the little story in that one. So, yeah, if you see things that are not supposed to be there, I am sorry about that. I was trying to make it as kid-friendly as possible, even if it states in all my videos that these videos are not meant for children. So I try to have it posted that I try my hardest to keep it as kid-friendly as possible. I'm actually having a hard time finding a really good gate, because eventually I was going to add a few extra things for this, and I just gave up and just didn't worry about it anymore. So that was all right, I guess. It looks all right. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like the horses are going to try to walk right out of that thing, but you know, hence their own. I guess we'll just figure it out. Here's me adding the classic red barn look. I really like the way this barn turned out. That's one thing that really made me into more of my childhood. I was literally sitting down trying to figure out, okay, if I want to do a style, a fancy barn, or do I want to do a childhood style Terralyn barn? And I'm thinking like, no, let's bring my childhood in. So we basically was thinking about how I was going to build it. There's me pausing, trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to build this to make it at least usable for The Sims 4? So I'm thinking like, this is so difficult because something I really love to do is I love building. But the one thing is I hate trying to figure stuff out. So it's like, am I going to keep certain stuff or am I going to change certain stuff? So I ended up eventually changing some things around, which actually turned out so nice. I really like the way this build turned out. Now, however, I did, before a power outage hit this afternoon, I did actually play in this new home build just for about maybe 2.5 hours. I literally was I had earbuds on my ears and I was literally ignoring everybody, and I was literally having my time when I used to just jam out to music and just play. And I gotta say that this house, yeah, it may be really giant inside and it may be a lot of useless space, but it actually is a usable space. And it was so nice to actually play in. And it was very nice. It was very nicely made. I really liked the way it was done. Oh, and there's a little potbelly stove. I did put it in, by the way. I did forget to put a chimney in the back, which I'm going to probably have to do anyways. I'm trying to figure this out. Right now I'm trying to figure out if I want to do, yeah, this is basically what I figured out. And the reason why you want to do something like this is always upstairs. It's sort of sometimes barely ever covered. It usually never really gets covered. It only gets covered when it gets like raining or snowing or whatever, but usually the hay just gets left alone up there. So we're just basically trying to make a hayloft, and I'm trying to figure out how I wanted it. And then I'm looking at old photos of an idea that I had in my head, and I finally figured out how I wanted to do this. I've actually been watching a lot of YouTube lately. Like, I've taken just about 2 months off of Neverwinter, and I've really been sinking my teeth right into streaming and making content for you guys, because that is what I do. I go to bed really late at night. I sleep in until like 12 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And when I'm sleeping, I'm figuring out ideas that I could be making, could be creating. So here's something that I do like to do is I like to go grab the texturings for the floors, put it right beside whatever I'm working on, and then delete it right after. It is so easy to do. Then I like to just throw the potbelly stove in, and it works, and it looks beautiful. Here's something from Ravishing I really like. There's little parts to it where you can make your candles, and you have your workbench, and you have your garden. So I had a hard time figuring out how I really wanted to do this. And I know I wanted the workbench. I would like to start making candles for my Sims so they have a little bit extra money to play with. So then I got rid of that end part and put the flower thing in, and then I put a shelving, and I forgot to add things to the shelves. So I have to go back and add things to the shelves. Also, I really like this. I think this is Get Together. Don't get me wrong, but I think that is Get Together. But I really love that really nice little grimy siding texturing on the walls. So I did this, and here's me trying to figure out appropriate. Yeah. And then I just say nope, and I grab that, and I forgot to add things to it. So, yeah, oops. Well, I have to go back and add something there. There's me adding some rubber boots, and I was going to leave the John Deere tractor out, but then thinking like we didn't need it, so we just got rid of it. It's like, yeah, we don't need you. You can go back where you were belong. I really like the way this turned out. I was actually going to put that little bench there, but I'm thinking like, no, maybe the little bench would be actually really great beside the potbelly stove. Because if you're like a long day of work and hard and you're just cold and you just don't really want to fully go inside really right away, you just go sit beside the potbelly stove and just relax. And here's the, I was going to put it right there because it would have been total sense, but then it just shoved it right back here just for decoration. I just felt like you can't just have an old style, unusable, something. And here's me just adding some food troughs in. And I do got to get some more mods and CC and stuff where there is literally hay everywhere on the ground and stuff like that. So I got to get that stuff done too. And here's me. And then I'm grabbing an extra one, doing it on the corner. And I really like the way this turned out. Part of this I did have to move it around. I remembered I had to add a ladder, which is usable in The Sims 4, by the way. And I really love these ladders. They're so beautiful. I had an issue to retexture the ladder, so I had to delete it and re-enable it. And then I figured out that the wheelbarrow, which we already had one, was in the way, and I just threw that hay right by where the wheelbarrow is, because I kind of imagined like my dad would have done that to keep the wheelbarrow from going off kiltered. I don't know if I added a little bit more hay upstairs. I don't know if oh, okay, and there we go. We're just going back to the we're just going back there really quick, grabbing those lights from yeah, I did add a little window up there too. I really like these lights from the stuff, the little pack that I got for the greenhouse. So I kind of just reuse those lights, and it kind of makes it look so amazing. I'm wondering if you guys are going to see my sim, but I guess not. So here's me just adding a pool and stuff, making it look a little bit lived in. Nothing too fancy out here because I don't have enough CC to really add much. So once I have more CC, I'll probably just add a little extra few things out here. But I made this little area as well as I could have. And I didn't really want a big swimming pool because I know in the winters in Canada, we'll have to literally drain it and cover it. And it would be a really hard chore if we had a massive swimming pool. So I was imagining what would happen at during the winter time. So I was thinking like, no, we don't really need a very big pool. And yeah, so we're just trying to figure out how we're gonna do this. And what I really like doing is adding a little bit of soil underneath the pavers. I really find that is a really good detail because you can actually see the little soil underneath the paver sometimes, and that makes it look more like it's supposed to be there. And I really like the way that turned out. I've been doing this little way since I first started playing The Sims 4. I actually figured this out myself. I've never seen any other Simmers ever do that, but it makes it look so much nicer that I would rather have the more detail. Now, I usually would have just done a flower bed all the way up to there, and left it to where it had to be, but I decided not to, because I just was more worried about the bumblebees. I was one time really badly stung as a kid. I've never ever really had a allergic reaction to bumblebees, but when I was a lot older, I had one small tiny allergic reaction to it, and I ended up in the hospital because of it. So yeah, I was just thinking about my sim, thinking about her, not about me, thinking about her and making sure she's okay and she's safe. But I've never really had another episode, and I don't really have an EpiPen, and I think I should have one, so that's something that I should carry in my purse. But anyways, it wasn't really a bad allergic reaction. Like, all it was like, I just had a really bad rash and some hives and stuff, and that was about it. No smell in the face or anything, or loss of consciousness or anything like that. So, yeah, no, it's something that I like is just outdoors, making things look pretty and make things look lived in, and I just loved it. I added some towels on the ground, made it look pretty and beautiful, and I really like the way this sort of turned out, this outside area. I just got rid of that gazebo. I'm going to make a gazebo area later. I just haven't really figured out how I want to do it. Now I just figured out how I want to do it, and now I'm kicking myself that I didn't do it. So, oops. Adding a few extra things into the barn. I really liked the way everything turned out. Put the rake in there. It's always good to have the rake. Yeah. Add some more trees. Add some more trees. And that was just for looks, and that was about it. I added a little bit more soil underneath it, and I didn't add a lot underneath that big one because I didn't know what I wanted to do there. So then here's me thinking about how I really want to make this look, and if I want to make it look pretty, and if I was just going to leave it like that. And I was thinking like, no, flower time. So I was thinking like, let's just add a smoke load of flowers. And I just went crazy on this. So I literally am just figuring out how I want to do it. And when I get creative, it just flows right out. So I was thinking like, okay, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. And that's something that I really like to do as well, is to play The Sims 4 before I go to bed. Because then before I go to bed, I'm able to play and I'm able to be relaxed. And that's something that I've always have done. Like, even if like the older eras is before, if I can't sleep, I play The Sims 4 because that's something that I love. I love playing a game where I can literally crawl into bed, and like, I have a California king. I have a Cali king, and you know, a Cali king is so nice to have space away from your partner. But what I like to do is crawl right into bed, scooch right up to my spouse, put my arm around him, and just fall asleep. And I wake up the next morning, he has his arm around me. And that is what really, really is weird, because we used to do this when we had a queen size bed, and now we have a king size bed, and we're still doing it. So that is strange to this day. That is really strange. That still happens. And here's me adding so much flowers. I am scared there's gonna be so many bumblebees in this game. Oh my goodness. I just hope my Sim's gonna be okay. I really do. But I love colors, and I love, you know, making everything pop and making everything look fresh and neat and really beautiful kind of thing. My favorite colors are like pink and purple and greens and yellows and blues, and I like everything. Like, it just screams summer, and I wish it was summer now, because if it was summer now, like, totally it would be nice. So here's just me adding a few extra things. I love these purple flowers. These are CC flowers, and I really like the CC flowers. They are amazing. I love them. So I'm just adding a few extra things, making it look a little bit more lived in. I did, however, add a fountain here, because I wanted a fountain. I was going to add that little one, but then I'm thinking like, no. I did, however, raise this up, and then I moved flowers that was around it, and I left the flowers around it, but then I made sure it was sort of around it, so it wasn't look like it was a floating, but it made it look really nice. But anyways, guys, we're getting close to the end of the video, and I hope you guys like this video. Hit the like and subscribe button down below, and I hope everybody is enjoying their spring. We're just finishing up a few extra touches in the backyard, and that will be it. Alright, everyone, I hope you all loved the video. Sorry I haven't really been very active lately. I have been burnt out so flippin' much. And I'm going to try to get more videos in. Oh, and here's me, one more little things. I always have to put my lavender plants in. If there's no lavender, I can never be happy. Bye, everyone.